Hey, good morning, guys. My name is Patrick. I'm one of the pastors here at Watermark, Orange County. And today I just wanted to share with you what God's been speaking to me about, especially in this time of not being able to meet in the church with each other. I really felt like God wanted to say something about that and maybe to give us some tools or some handles of ways to practice what it might look like to be physically distant from each other, but not physically distant from God. And so I learned a little while ago that back when the Jews were taken into captivity, they were taken away from their temple, and they weren't able to worship God in their temples anymore with each other. And as a way of figuring out how do we continue to meet together, they started to write the book of Psalms. And people gathered some information together about who God was. And you see this in some of the scriptures and the physical visuals of the language of that time. Even later when David starts to write about the temple that doesn't exist. And then later, even further, there are people that had the temple and they wrote what they remembered about it. And so with that in mind, like, we can actually see, what it looks like to either walk through the doors of Watermark Church and see the greeters and hear the sounds of people laughing and the smells of the coffee and the donuts. Gotta remember those donuts. And then even just walking into the sanctuary and being greeted, and you've got guys and girls on stage that are just ready to worship God. And if we could put ourselves in that mindset, we can really connect with God and what God's saying. But what they did was exactly that. And so I want to read Psalm 100. It's kind of our psalm for the year. Such a great picture of exactly what I'm talking about here. It says, "Shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness, and come before him with joyful songs," no matter where you're at. Know that the Lord is God. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving, and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. For the Lord is good, and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues throughout all generations. So as we continue in this time of figuring out who we are and where we are and whatever God may be speaking to us, let's think about that. Let's walk into the spiritual temples of our lives. We have the Spirit in us because we are believers, and we believe that the Holy Spirit entered us when we accepted Jesus into our hearts. And with that, we have a temple, a physical body that carries Jesus around. And so, again, picture that with what we have, and let's worship God in these uncertain times. Stay focused, stay connected, stay healthy. We love you. We'll see you soon. Thanks.